Hi, I'm Jack Upchurch. Video you're about to see is a good video. It was made in 1989. I made it in up at A.Euna's in her kitchen. We were sitting at the dinner table there in the kitchen, and what we were doing is reviewing old pictures. A.Euna was talking about who the people were, some of the comments regarding particular people. Um, it's on the Upchurch side of the family, and there's several pictures that are really important. One is of the Bowman family. My grandmother, Aunt Una's mom, my dad's mom, was a Bowman, Bowman, and it's a family picture made long time ago there in Bowden, Georgia, and she goes over it. And it's really interesting. Also, there's some pictures of my father in there as a baby. A couple of pictures in there when he was just months old, really. He's born in 1916. Also, pictures of my dad in Oregon at Silver Falls State Park in Oregon, right out of Sublimity, Oregon. And what's neat about that, me and Nana went up there years ago after I found out he was in the CCC and was sent to Oregon from Bowden, Georgia, there, clear across the United States. And it was nice to be able to walk on the trails. That's what they were doing. They were cutting trails around the park there. It's just full of waterfalls. And there's a video in my collection of our trip up there. And so it's really interesting. We saw places where he actually was eating, would have his meals where they camped out and everything. Dad was in the CCC. I think it was probably around 1932, 1933. I was told he had to fib on his age because there was a certain age, minimum age, that they would take you in the CCC. They would pay $25 a month. They could keep $5, but the other $20 they had to send back home. Of course, this was the time of the Depression, so it was really difficult on the family. Two, I think my grandmother, his mom, had died. She died unexpectedly at the breakfast table, just had a heart attack and died right there. No illness that they knew of at the time. She just had a heart attack and died. So I think the family kind of struggled during that period of time, and it was difficult for the whole family. And one of the things my dad did was join the CCC in Carrollton and was shipped to Oregon, clear across the United States. It was interesting to be there and to think perhaps the way he was thinking. Just a young boy, really, clear across the United States, and people he didn't know. But he did fine. That's where he learned to operate heavy equipment, like um, construction equipment. So that was what he did, and that was his life. So if you would join me, and we'll go down memory lane. In 1989, we've just been up to East Point, Georgia, to a historical society and seminar, I guess we'd call it, on the Upchurch family by Phil Upchurch out of, where do you say he's from? Tucson, Arizona, which was very informative. So we're back down at Aunt Euna's now, and in the kitchen here, we're going to go through some photographs and get Aunt Euna to kind of talk about them and reminisce on some of the photographs, because I'm sure I don't know some of them.
And I probably don't know them all either, Jack.
Yeah, we'll see what we got. So let's get started. Okay, first photograph we've got is, I guess the old Bowman home place or house. You can see the house here in the background. And we'll just kind of go through and name them off. This is what, Uncle A.J., right?
Yeah. Jack, do you have an idea what year this was made in?
No, you look to be, this is A.Euna. You look to be what?
About 4?
5 maybe?
4,
I'd say 5.
I'd say.
So you were born in 1906? So it must be around 1911, 1912, I guess would be this photograph, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably.
And wouldn't you call these people out as I point to them?
That's Papa, Henry.
And of course,
And that's Yellow.
uh-huh.
And that's my mother, Pearl. And that's Grandma Bowman, Elizabeth, and that's St. Clair. And Uncle Andrew, and that's Susan May.
Let's just talk about the photograph a little bit. Couple of things you can see right off. See how grandmother, your mom, parted her hair here in the center, and just as your her parted in the middle. You can't tell it very much, but there is a bow here.
Yeah,
you look right there close.
See it.
A bow in the side of your hair.
Those must have been very stylish. St. Clair's got 2 on one on each side of her hair too.
Right here and right here.
I think Susan May had dark red hair almost, or auburn red, I guess she called it.
She looks like she's a young woman there, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's not, I wouldn't call her a teenager. Aunt Vera is almost teenage, not quite, but how much older is Aunt Vera than you? If you're 4 or 5, let's see. When was she born? Do you remember?
2 years older than she is. Aunt Vera will be 90 once she had birthday.
Well,
and that'll be in March.
So, I mean, she was born about 1900. Is that about right?
I guess so.
So she would be about 6 years older than you, and if you're, say, 4 or 5, then she's about 11 or 12,
Yeah.
which looks about right.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, so many pictures, it seemed like your great-grandmother, or your grandmother, rather, right? She can't catch her looking at the camera. She's looking down.
I guess she was in a deep thought. She looked like she was, just deeply thinking about something, doesn't she?
You can see a fence back here in the back, can't you?
Yeah, picket
Goes around the house. That house is no longer standing, is it? It's gone.
No, it's, did it? I don't know if it burned or they tore it down, Jack. I believe they tore it down. I don't remember it ever burning.
But the house was located on, what, Farmers High Road? Is that Farmers High Road?
Garrett Creek Road, it's called now.
Garrett Creek Road.
Yeah.
And you remember going to it?
Yeah. And Aunt Vera and me spend a many Saturday afternoon. I'd go out and spend the weekend, some weekends. We'd go down the pasture, which was in front of the house, across the road in front of the house. We'd go down there and had great big rocks, and then we'd pick up small rocks and cast them and hit those big rocks, and it'd be just around dust dark, and the sparks would just fly.
Well, you could see sparks coming out. Must have had a flint in the rock or something. Now, where was that? That was the creek where?
It was right across the road from Grandma's house, in by pasture. And I remember us going down there, and Babe got a kick out of seeing all those sparks flying, and she'd take a smaller rock and bang it, throw it against one of those red big
Make
rocks.
the sparks fly out of it.
Yeah.
You can really see that fence pretty good back in here. See the barn here?
Yeah, the barn was at the right back there.
You can see the fence real good there.
And Grandma always had quince bushes and pine trees back there too. And I know the quince preserves that she made was so good. I never forget how good they were.
Papa's a good-looking man there, isn't he?
Yeah.
young man. Probably if you're 5 or 6, I would guess maybe. Let's see, that would have been 1912. He was born in 77, so 23, 33, 35. Does he look 35 there? He didn't look 35
Well,
there.
he was 7 years older than Mama, but he sure didn't look it, did he?
No.
He sure did.
He's born in 77, so 1900 would make it 20. He'd be 23. You were born in 1906, so add 6 to that 23 would be 29. And you look 5 years old, so he's 34 there.
Yeah.
At least 34.
Yeah. Well, I
That's a
wonder
good
if that was
photograph.
after my little sister Bowman died. She died between J.C. and me, and I wonder if that was after she died. The reason Mama looks so, seemed like grief-stricken or something.
She does.
It might have been right after
No other
that.
children there. I mean, so it has to be maybe soon after that. Look at her
Yeah.
high top. Look at her high top.
Yeah, collar and a brooch or something in front. Yeah. That was the style. Grandma's collar was high too.
Yeah, sure is. That's probably a Sunday or something, I guess. All the farm work done for the day or the week, and over there having dinner. And no doubt Tarpley took this photograph, huh?
I wonder if he didn't. I just wonder if he did take it. He generally marked, but it might have been marked on the ground and it doesn't show up on the picture.
Let's go to another one.
Well, that's real interesting to think about and see. And when they were having that made, they had no idea in future years what that picture would mean to all of us.
Now look, and all those people are gone now except you and Aunt Vera.
Yeah, that's right.
Now we're looking at another photograph years later. Let's see if we can start by naming, see if you name all these, Aunt Euna. Of course, that's
Willis, my younger brother, Willis, and Aunt Susan May, Mama's oldest sister, and Troy, my husband, and myself, and Grandma Bowman, and Mama, and Papa and J.C. on the bench.
the two little girls.
That's Bessie and Opal.
That's Aunt Opal here, right?
Yeah.
Uncle J.C. And I've said many times I thought those were pants, but you're convinced that no way would she wear pants.
Yeah, that's a skirt.
So the wind, we assume, was just kind of blowing the dress between her legs, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, it must have been pretty cold, and evidently the wind had to be blowing because she never did wear pants.
And I like the hats. See the hats, each one of them.
That was a style. That was a little.
So that must be. Daddy was born in 1916, and he looks to be 12. Did you say he's 12 there? Maybe 14. How would you say Daddy is?
He'd be 11 or 12, I bet.
So if that was 1916 he's born, he'd say he's 11. That'd be 1927, so you're looking at 1926, 27.
25, Joe.
You and Uncle Troy?
Yeah.
So y'all are married there, I'm sure. So but that's the style back then, wasn't it? Big,
Yeah.
You got a big coat on, and it looks like a fur around the top there.
Yeah, it was.
Fur around the.
Fur around the coat.
Can you remember that coat by chance?
Seemed like it was kind of an aqua blue. Last time I remember.
Daddy's got his arm around Uncle Troy. You can see his hand right there laying on his shoulder. You see his arm coming around, laying on. You've said Daddy kind of. That was his buddy, wasn't it?
Yeah, he loved trouble.
Daddy's got some kind of hat on there.
JC's bad-headed, isn't he? No, he's got
No,
a
he's
cap
got
on.
got one of those stylish hats on for that period of time.
They call him a cap over his
Of course, and Opal's all bundled up.
Yes, I don't remember. It seemed like her coat was
Now this house was, where was this house at?
on Fairbanks, 1450 Fairbanks.
1450 Fairbanks.
That's
And who
right.
lived there?
Huh?
Who lived there?
Grandma and Uncle Andrew and Let's see, Grandma. They was not on there, is she?
We'll
But
take a break
Grandma
for the.
lived there. None of us got there.
Yeah, again, whose house was it?
That's Grandma's house on Fairbanks. Uncle Andrew, I guess, might have bought it together, Jack. I don't know, but I know.
I wonder where Uncle Andrew is today. He's not there, is he?
He might have been in Miami. He spent a lot of years down there. So.
He did. Of course, this is in Atlanta, right? The
Yeah,
house
that
was
was
in
in
Atlanta.
Atlanta, out in suburbs in Atlanta.
Okay, well, let's go on to another one. Uncle Troy looks good there. Uncle Troy was a handsome man, wasn't he? When
Yeah, and he wore his hair like that then. And he
Got a
was
lot of
like
hair
curly
then, hadn't he?
shorts, you know. I mean, it used to be real curly.
Okay, that's my pawpaw, right? My daddy.
Yeah, when he was a baby.
Just a little old baby in there.
Yeah, he had
And that-
red hair. It was real plump. And
Look at this little dress, right? This is a dress. Got a little frill around, or what do you call that?
embroidered. That's not
Embroidered.
some kind of
Barefooted.
Yeah, Mama,
Got a little cap.
Mama that made that dress and no doubt the cap too. It was handmade. I don't remember whether she made it all or not. But I know she must have made the dress. And look how fancy it is.
Yeah. Dad was born 1919, so that picture is probably 1919. So he was born in May, right?
Yeah, 25th.
May 25th. So he's still a baby there. Looks like a baby to me. He's not a year old, I don't suspect. Or if he is, he just is.
Probably about 19 months old.
That's Dad again, and it looks like the same dress, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he's bareheaded, see?
Yeah. I wonder if there's any way that picture could have been taken the same day.
I bet
Huh?
it was. I bet it was.
Let's look back at the other one right quick.
Well, I don't know. It looks like they got.
The photographs are definitely one. This one looks really old here.
Yeah, but the background doesn't look the same, does it?
No, now we'll go back to the other one.
It's dark looking there. But it looks like he's the same.
You know
age.
what? But you know, if you'll look real close here, you see this outline here, and see that right there, and see that coming down. That almost looks like somebody.
Holding in the light.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It might be.
His daddy looks like he's happier in this picture, but again, that's the same dress. You're right.
Yeah.
But the cap, he's got the cap on.
Yeah.
I believe there's a possibility that those two photographs might be the same day.
Later picture though, I guess.
Now that's Dad, right?
Yeah, let's see.
He's standing in a chair,
Holding to the chair.
right?
Look like he just could stand alone.
Yeah. And if you look up here, his hair looks right there looks
Curly.
curled up on top.
I don't know, he must have kind of been inclined to have curly hair along about that time. My mama might have rolled it like that. I don't know what she got, but it seemed like his hair always seemed like it was
He's
straight.
older there too.
Yeah,
And the obviously standing, walking, running around.
Probably about a year and a half or 2 years old.
Yeah.
About a year and a half, I think. Married, but
Okay, this is a picture of who is this now?
Grandma Bowman
And
and Henry, Papa's, my dad, and Opal.
which
No,
one is
that's
up?
June and Jonelle
And that's you,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
I'm holding this picture so it's going to bounce around a little bit. I can't in order to get it focused up. Of course, that's probably at the old home place, huh?
Yeah, that's where we live.
See those green door back here in the back, and chairs on the porch there.
I think that house was painted green, I believe you remember, Jack?
No,
I think it was painted green and bordered in white trimming.
kind of looks like y'all have spread a quilt or something down here for y'all to sit on. See how it drapes down over here on the stairs?
Yeah.
See
I
that?
don't know what.
See that? I never noticed that before.
I don't know whether the steps would be that long or not, though, Jack.
Must be.
They might have been.
Mhm.
Maybe so. I've forgotten how long it was.
Okay, this is a group picture. Looks like that's Uncle Troy back there in the background. A.Euna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandma. And Opal.
That's Papa, right?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe it
possible.
is. Doesn't look very plain.
Who is that though?
That's Uncle Andrew's girlfriend he brought.
Oh, and there's Uncle Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay.
And J.C. and June and Jonelle and Evan. I believe that woman that was Uncle Andrew was Amy Byers, seemed like that was her name. He brought some in down there, it's hard to keep up with.
Okay, that's we've got who is this?
That, Jason, is that J.C.?
Yeah, that's what I said, right? And then
Troy
uh-huh.
and Willis and Uncle Andrew and Papa. Don't Papa look bad, does he?
Yeah,
He sure does look thin.
it does look thin. Now that was made where?
Out that old barn place across the road, next to the, well, that's where he had the car when they had one, had in the under that
Well, is that barn the barn that's there now, or is that barn?
No, it's
gone?
That's been torn down. But that was, the barn was kind of to the right of that shelter.
And this is right out of Farmers High, right?
Yeah. And they had, I know, you remember seeing one picture where they had flowers next to the barn, on
Right.
that side next to the barn.
Yeah, that's this
Lilies or
picture right here. If we can get it up there.
Well, that's that, Amy Byers there, I know, and Bowman.
Here, this is Amy Byers?
Yeah.
Then-
Bowman Ferrara, Nate Vera, and Oakland, and Evan and Jim and Jonelle, myself.
Can you remember that day by chance?
Yeah, I remember coming.
Looked
down
like maybe
the
y'all had dinner that day or something, huh?
I guess we hadn't done with that part. I'm sure we did. But of course that was after Mama died, I don't know.
Yeah.
Evan probably cooked dinner. They might have come in the afternoon over that pot, I don't know. Sometimes they did, no planning. But Aunt Bear was along. He didn't generally bring Aunt Bear when he had his girlfriend, but she was along with him that time, I see. Sure, I don't see Jonelle on there. Yeah, there she is in front of Uncle Andrew, I see him.
Well, right here, right?
Yeah.
And then that's June.
And
This is
that Oakland?
that's you, isn't it? And then Papa,
I don't know.
Uncle AJ, and then
Grandma. And who is that next? Is
that's Aunt Ellen there,
well, it doesn't look like it.
and Uncle
That's
JC,
Aunt Bear.
and Aunt there. Yeah, I'm sure that must be you.
I guess it is, Jack.
Of course, this is taken a different day from what these pictures we were just looking at.
I don't remember having a dress like that, but I guess it is.
Uncle
look how
JC
much-
with his
Overall.
looks like a working man. Probably was too.
Grandma, look how short she was.
She was short, wasn't she? Look at that.
And thin, she was always thin. But Grandma, now I don't know, she might have been down there staying some, and they come after that Sunday, I don't know. I know she did stay down there some, but I don't believe she stayed as much after J.C. and Ellen married. I know she didn't.
Everybody's in there, it seems like, except Uncle Troy, so Uncle Troy must have made that picture, I would guess.
Yeah, probably so. Natural.
Okay, what is this and where is this at?
That's at my house, but what year was that made on one of those? Look at
Well,
your dad.
this is me.
Yeah. You must have been, what, about 10, 11 years old?
Yeah, maybe 12. I'd say around 12. It's Carolyn.
Yeah.
It's, okay, this is Miss Edel.
Yeah. And that's me. That's Troy. And Evan.
No, is that Aunt Ellen? Or Jonelle?
Oh, Jonelle, yeah, that's
Jonelle.
Jonelle.
That's
Jack.
me.
And
My
that's-
mom.
Yeah, Dorothy. And Willis. And Diane. And Papa. And Jim. And Evan. J.C. and Carolyn.
Whoops. Must have been a Thanksgiving dinner, probably.
Probably was. Or Christmas one. Probably. Might have been Christmas, Jack. I
Yeah,
don't know.
could have been. There's that. That was a little china cabinet or something, I guess, when they were
I
so.
still have that, you know, it didn't burn.
Is that where? That's that piece over there, I guess. Isn't it?
We were lucky to get to see that and that hutch too.
Mm-hmm.
We did, and didn't break the dishes in Hutch. Those dishes, Carl Moss, then he's dead now, Mom. They make
Yeah,
dishes
well,
like
I guess it may, you were talking about the pictures a minute ago.
those
I mean, the flowers,
Yeah.
it's hard to tell that these are flowers in this video, but that's what those are. If you could look at the photograph here, you could see that, I mean, it's just a bunch of flowers. I don't know what those
I
are.
think
Look
it's
cute.
lilies.
Lilies?
Yeah, those old time lilies, like flag lilies or whatever they call them.
There's two brothers,
Yeah,
which I guess cared a lot for each other, didn't they?
Yeah, even though they did fuss and fight.
Yeah.
Just like brothers and
Uncle
sisters.
JC looks like he's got his hair split in the
Yeah.
middle, doesn't he?
Uh-huh.
Coveralls on again.
Yeah.
Dad didn't have his on. Dad was quite a bit taller than
JC.
Uncle JC, wasn't he?
Yeah, was.
Yeah. I know
Well,
Daddy used to
Uncle
love to
Ed-
come
Uncle
down
Ed
here
was
more.
pretty tall, you know.
Mhm.
So I guess we was gonna took out after the Bowman side of it.
You know, I really don't know how tall my dad was. I don't know if he's 6 foot,
He-
6'1", 5'11", whatever.
he
But I
was
believe
like-
I'm bigger than my father was.
Yeah, you're heavier
Mhm.
than Jack and Willis was. And JC never was real heavy. He was just ordinary built, you know. So
Dad died in, I believe it was November the 8th, 1963. Then Uncle JC died, a couple of years later, didn't he?
about 14 months difference in their age.
In their age or death?
I mean, in the deaths.
I know Dad, it was November the 8th, 1963 that Dad died.
No, I take that back. About 18 months difference in the death. It was less than 2 years. I know. I remember that real
Now
well.
Papa died in 59,
Mhm.
right? Then Dad died in 63. And Uncle JC must have died. If he died 18 months later, 64, 65, he died in the early part of 65, I guess.
I get to 66, one,
Mhm.
65, 66. And Willis died in 63.
Uh-huh.
I think I've got that down, but I haven't got JC's date of his death now in the Bible. Nowhere else. But Evan and them know, and he died in September, didn't he? JC.
I can't remember.
Later,
I remember I was one of his pallbearers.
He was laying a corpse Labor Day weekend, if I'm not
Yeah, I
mistaken.
think it was.
Uh-huh.
I think it was.
And you know, Tommy was on his way overseas at the time Jay died.
It was.
I know it was talking about what a horrible,
And that's the
Yeah,
Vietnam
Mark.
War, I guess.
yeah.
There's those two famous brothers again, Uncle
Yeah.
JC and Dad.
Now
And
that must have been, yeah, that was on J.C. and Evan's back doorstep.
yeah, over there in Hateville, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
That doesn't look a whole lot like Willis, but it is.
Yeah, you
He's
can
got
tell his hair-
that He might be taking a
Cigarette,
out of his
yeah.
mouth, yeah.
Sure did.
But they look like they're disgusting.
Yeah,
something.
serious talk, serious talk. Fishing.
No tell. J.C. Now why was that?
No, that's Dad. That's Dad
Is
there.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dad.
Willis and Jay?
Yeah.
Well, it looked like Charlie. Yeah, I see now. It's Willis.
I don't know whose car. It must have been Uncle JC's car. I don't recognize that car as being ours.
Well, I can't tell. Looks like a one-seated car.
It's
Now.
a Ford.
Is that the same car?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I see. Why was that not you, do you know?
I don't really know.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, that's my mom and me.
Wasn't she young looking?
Yeah, she was so
Like a
skinny
kid,
looking.
didn't she?
That must be at the old home place, looks like there. The big porch on the front.
What you mean, y'all's?
Your old home place
I
there?
don't think that's made it.
You don't?
I don't believe so.
I was just trying to maybe identify it by the porch there.
I don't believe so, John.
Mom's got a bow or something in her
Yeah.
hair.
She looks so young back.
Well, let's see. Mom was 21 when she got married, so I look to be maybe 2 years old. So
Yeah,
she's a little 23-year-old.
yeah, mother.
Yeah.
It is.
That's always been one of my favorite type pictures.
Yeah. Look at you, you're just looking direct up at him.
Yeah, that's my daddy.
Yeah. Clay. That's so sweet. You look
So
real
I see
thin.
what, I was 2 or 3, so Dad must have been about 25, 26. He's just a young man there.
How old was he when he married, do you know?
23, I think. 22 or 23. Mom was 21.
Well, she didn't look it at all.
But Dad, probably about 25.
Yeah.
You can tell I like my dad, though, there, can't you?
Yeah, you sure can.
Dad looks like Indiana Jones movie that was kind of popular 2 or 3
Now,
years
where
ago.
was that made?
I think it was East Lake, over there in Birmingham.
Oh. Now, your mama looks older there, doesn't she?
Yeah, I don't know if I was born then or not.
I don't know. That made
Again, it's out there at the
yeah, that same place.
Flowers and
Where they
by the
lived.
barn. It was a very, A.Euna said, a very popular photogenic spot, I guess.
I think so too.
I bet my mom weighed every bit 105 or 10 pounds there.
Yeah, I bet so too. She was thin.
And Dad didn't weigh much more than probably 160, I bet. 155.
Now he looked heavier there, Jack. You there, didn't you? That sure is cute of you. Oh, Clay. I remember your hair was so black and dark brown.
This was in Birmingham.
You're just in the bloom of life.
Yeah.
You sure was.
Dad with a tie on. Power lines in the back.
You're sitting on a car.
And the hood.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of car that was. You think that was made in Birmingham too?
Yeah, I know it was. Sorry.
I said Miss Strauss.
No, Miss Brock.
Yeah, over down there, those, no.
Aunt
yeah.
Nora. That's a picture in Birmingham, and you can see the old cars back here in the background.
Yeah.
I got some kind of little suit. We stand by a telephone pole. And Aunt was saying Dad looks a lot like Uncle Andrew, and yeah, he does in that picture, but I'm sure that is
Yeah, that's
Dad.
Have you got a cap on your head turned around backwards?
Well, I think it's just one of those little kind of sailor caps type thing.
Must have been.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look much like you now, Jeff.
Well, that's a picture of the Farmers High there at Miss Brock, Nora Brock's, that place we lived in, rented. And that's Diane, and that's me. You see, I got little goggles or something on there. Right there.
Allowed to play. Well,
They apparently moved a chair out that day and took this photograph.
Yeah, they did. Well, I'm glad. Who took it, I wonder?
I don't know. That's Dad being a daddy.
And Diane must have been, how, about 6 months? No, she's older than that, wasn't she?
She's about 2 years.
No, 2 years old?
Wasn't 18 months?
I wouldn't think she's a year old.
I don't believe she would be. Got a little ribbon in the hair, hadn't she?
Yeah.
Was that, why was that made now? Do you know?
Got to be back in Farmers High or down here at your place. I'm 6 years older than Diane. Diane looks like maybe she's a year, so I'm 7. Dad must be 29 or 30 years old then.
I wonder if that, I wouldn't have been made still if that Noah's place would have been Miss Murdy's place.
Well, yeah, maybe Miss Stroud's.
Well, I'm
Miss Stroud's. I bet that was made at Miss Stroud's, possibly.
Might have been.
Dad looks happy there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I like that. I'm good at happy there. Had 2 pretty good kids. Boy, especially, he was a fine young man, that boy. Where was that house? I mean, whose house is that? That's not the old house down here. And I don't ever remember living in a house like that, but there's Papa, there's Daddy, and there's me. It's not down at Aunt Opal's, right? It's not down there. I don't remember that house. But where would Papa be? Papa looks like he's got something, he's drinking a cup of tea or something, a glass of tea. Dad's engaged in conversation about Papa. Saying something to them. You don't recognize that house, though?
That wouldn't be Opal's, would it?
I don't think so. No, I just don't think so.
Well, I don't know either, Jack.
I don't know where that photograph has been taken.
Oh.
I've always kind of liked this picture of me. It's,
Yeah, that is good.
me sitting on the back steps of Mrs. Stroud's. That's where that was taken. You can see the garbage can off to the side here.
Yeah.
I'm barefooted, got my coveralls on. And I went from that nice, neatly dressed kid in Birmingham to this barefoot.
Have to go look at a country
Yeah,
kid.
turned into a country boy.
Yeah, it looks like you have. doesn't
But I'll still look happy. I may even look happier there than I did in Birmingham.
it? Yeah. Now, that was how long before y'all married? I mean, y'all married.
I don't know when he went in. See, 1919. I thought it was something like 35, 36. So he would have been what? If it was 37, 17, he'd be around 18 years old. But I'm not really sure. These are just some other pictures I've got. I don't think that's Daddy, but those were.
Is that in?
That's Oregon again. Of course, they were logging, and you may know who this is. I don't know who this is. Is that Daddy on the right?
That's Jason Lewis, isn't it?
No, that's Daddy on the right. Maybe I think it might be.
I thought it was J.C. maybe on the left.
I don't know who that guy is on the left. On the left
Well,
there.
it's kind of like Jay, but he's too tall for Jay.
Uh huh. I don't know either. Again, this is a camp apparently he was stationed at.
Well, now, if I ever saw those pictures, I don't remember. When he's been to CC.
But I have no idea where it was taken, when it was taken, who took it. It's just some photographs that I have, and I've always been told that's of my father, and when he was in CC and when he was in Oregon, and that was the camp. He was a long way from home, wasn't he?
Must have been there the same day, you know, he got one apart.
Right, I've got the next one I'm going to show is of Papa, but that's you and you're...
Nobody behind. I mean, I wasn't with nobody. Somebody just happened to be behind.
But that's on the Carrollton Square, right?
Yeah.
You're just a young lady there, aren't you?
I was already married, so I'm pretty sure I was. You ain't one?
No. Why wouldn't y'all have been together?
Well,
Papa got a sack in his hand. He's bought something. Papa's kind of looked like he's startled, doesn't it? Like,
it looks like he got maybe a cat or something. You know, in those days they just dropped him in a sack. I don't know what he bought, but he bought
if you look up at this name of the company there, it's hard to tell who it is, what company that is. But if you'll look at that now, okay, and then let me switch back to the other one. If you look again at the name of that store, it's the same store.
It is.
It's the same store.
Strange that our picture got taken in about the same
But
place.
y'all are individuals, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you would have thought y'all would have been together.
Yeah, I know.
Again, the same type picture. That picture's in real bad shape, but that's who? That's Uncle.
Jay.
Got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and he's walking down the street. And again, a photographer has snapped him.
Wonder why that was. You think it'd been Atlanta?
I don't know.
You know, he worked at the terminal station in Atlanta a pretty good while, actually.
Is that where Uncle Troy worked?
No, Troy worked there, but Jay did. Troy worked on the car line, you know, operating a streetcar. That's Willis. That's his wife.
I wonder if that was his car. Must have been,
Probably,
huh?
probably was.
I don't know what that is. Maybe a 31 coupe.
Looks like he's got on white shoes.
It does, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
But he's thin there, you know. Look at him. He's in good shape. He looks like got no stomach at all.
Yeah.
Got that hair slicked back. sleeves rolled up.
He loved to work on cars, didn't he? You used
And
to
everybody I've ever heard talk about him says he could fix anything. You know.
I know it. Mr. Murray sure did think he was a good mechanic on anything he needed done.
Yeah.
He'd say, I'll get Red Upchurch, he fixed it.
Do you know when he first started being called Red? Do you have any idea as to when that occurred?
No, but Mr. Murray called him Red a lot. That's about all he did call him, Red Upchurch.
Everybody knew him as Red, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or Willis. You called him Willis,
I
didn't you?
called him Willis. I never did call him Red. His name was George.
Yeah, Nana and I were talking about the other night. Daddy's name was George Willis Upchurch. Well, George was his grandfather on his mother's side, right?
Yeah.
His name was George Washington Bowman. So I assume George came from George Washington Bowman.
Yeah, I think
And Willis, of course, was
From
would have
Upchurch.
been Papa's grandfather.
Yeah.
Papa's grandfather was named Willis.
And he was named after both his granddads.
Right. So Dad is named after Papa's grandfather, or not Papa's grandfather, but Daddy's grandfather, and Daddy's grandfather on his mother's side. So that's how he was named. Again, this looks like I'm not really sure. I've often thought, well, that was CCC with all that wood block. It looks like wood board in the back, but he looks older there, huh?
Yeah, it does. That might have been made in Atlanta, John.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been.
Old house in the back. I don't know where that picture was made.
But it's a good picture of him.
Yeah, it is.
Sure can identify who it is. How come it's so big, John?
There's the.
Blowing that one.
It's my dad. This is the one taken in one of those booths. You know, you'd go in there and sit in, pull the curtain, and put a quarter in.
Oh.
And Dad was making faces at that thing that day. That's the kind of guy my dad was. I guess everybody liked Dad, didn't they?
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
a lot of
we
people
were
that-
personality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a more outgoing personality than Jay. actually. That's more like him, of course.
So
He looked older then than.
look at that. Now, if I didn't know that was Uncle Troy, I might say I don't know who that is.
Well, I know it. He doesn't look himself at all there, does he?
I can't make out what that says on top there.
Uh,
Oh, it's 1066. That's what it look. And looking at the photo, or 1086.
I believe it's 1086.
1086. Yeah, you're right.
They
1086.
had to wear those caps, you know, to
And
shoot.
then he worked in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, and that's when we lived at Lakewood out there in the other fairgrounds in those little cabins. And that's why I got acquainted with Edith Allen, and she's one sitting with those beads this week. That was made up here at the old house place.
It was.
Uh-huh.
Uncle Troy with his glasses. And
Yeah,
old dog. What was that old dog's name?
I don't remember what his name was now, but he's gray looking, black and gray and white.
Looked like a boxer type dog.
A
wasn't it?
bulldog, I think.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think it was.
And that was made at the old home place above where you live now, right?
Yeah.
That E.L. had and sold to Mr.
Richardson.
Richardson.
This year, 1989.
No.
Yeah, I was supposed to buy it, but he decided.
That's a good picture. I wish that picture was clear, but that's a good picture you ain't you.
Yeah.
You're smiling and everything. You look happy there.
Yeah. And I was heavier there, of course. And I guess that was about the time I was as heavy as I ever was after I married. And, yes, all those glasses was out in Coleman.
That was made where now?
At Uncle Charlie Blackwell's out in Coleman. We'd gone out there.
Alabama?
To get him to come and build a house that burned. He was the one that built most of that house.
You was.
He was the main carpenter. And
Well, is that y'all's old car in the background?
Yeah, that's our car.
That car looks like that thing's kind of beat up to me.
Well,
Look at that front fender there.
I don't know if it was.
I always thought Uncle Troy had every car I've ever remembered him having. It was always a nice automobile.
Well, that was a Buick, I think, an
Right,
old
right,
Buick.
right.
But I
Maybe
don't
it's
know
just
where-
dirty that day.
Might have been. that was out in the country, might have been dirt, I don't remember, Joe.
This is one of my favorite pictures. I really like this picture here. It's Uncle Troy with a head full of hair, and Papa's got his arm up around Uncle Troy.
Yeah.
Both of them got their kind of work alls on or something.
Was that made of film or was that made of poppers now?
If I had to guess,
I believe it's made of poppers, isn't it?
I believe
Yeah,
it might be.
was, yeah. Charlie's got on glasses there. You see, Papa
Yeah.
don't have on glasses.
No.
But,
Good
I'm
picture though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it sure is good pictures.
It's Uncle JC and Uncle AJ, ain't Uncle A.Euna and Uncle Troy. But that's a good photograph there.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
good
it is.
photograph.
Roy must have taken that picture.
Yeah, bet he did. And that was made down at where? Ain't Opals in
Yeah. Was that
Florida.
that wasn't made where she lives now, though? I don't know.
I kind of believe it is. Those look like pine trees in the back.
Well,
you know,
maybe so.
I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell. Hard to
Well,
tell.
was that at the time Jason and Ellen were having some trouble and Jay was separated from her, you think?
Could have been. That looked so much like Uncle Jason. Uncle Troy. He was pretty heavy there too, wasn't he? Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I tell you, by the expression on both of them's faces, I just bet you they were drinking it that day.
That day.
I bet you they were.
I can almost hear Uncle Troy that type laugh he had, chuckle or whatever.
Uncle Andrew, we either went down with him or he went with us.
Did Uncle Andrew drink?
He never did, he drank a little, I guess, but he never did, I never did see him drunk, if he did. I mean, if he ever got drunk, I never did.
Papa must have already been gone there, huh? Must
I
have.
don't know.
I can't believe you wouldn't be in that picture.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm wondering.
It's not dated. It's hard to tell. But since he's not there.
The picture, Roy, you think?
Yeah, Uncle Roy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
he did.
Uncle Roy.
So, well, Papa might have. Who is that, Evan?
My mother and you.
Oh,
I wonder where that was made. Maybe up here at the old home place again?
no doubt. No doubt, no.
Mother and ain't Ellen look like they're holding hands.
Yeah, they do.
It looks like, if you can see the photograph looks that way too.
Oh, I'm glad. I bet that was a red dress Ellen had on because she liked red. I know she had a red dress that she made. I wonder if that was it. I think the one she made that I remember had buttons all the way down.
Yeah?
Now that was made when Mabel and Curtis lived up that Bowden. I remember that house.
It's Mabel and that's Papa. It's not a real good photograph, but
But that house is,
they've made in Bowden.
yeah. But I believe that house is gone now. I believe it's been torn down where it stood. It's kind of out there about where.
The only place, okay, yeah, I remember two places they lived in there in Bowden. One was near the school, the little grammar school there. And then the other one seemed like it was out toward Aunt Del Ree's on the left there.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure which one that would have
I
been
believe
there.
that was made there though near the grammar school there.
Was it? I believe, well, he's just a young man there. The Papa was just a young man, had a mustache. I guess maybe that's where I get my mustache from today. I have a mustache. You know, I never kind of noticed, but you look how Papa kind of combed his hair there.
Yeah,
It looks like he parted his hair. No, he parted his hair on the left, didn't he?
yeah.
But see how he kind of kicks it around or a little bit, and that's kind of the way I do mine.
Yeah, you do.
Sure do.
Sure do.
But that's a young picture of Papa there, and it's a
You
good
think
picture.
that was before he married?
I believe it was.
Must have been. He hadn't looked like that in none of the rest, had he?
No. In fact, I believe that's the only picture that I have of him where he looks has that look about him.
I know it.
I'd hate to try to guess how old he was there, but he's not very old.
I'd say he's about 19.
I would have, if I'd had to guess, I'd say 19 too. But he's all dressed up, got a three-piece suit on.
Yeah, sure.
He never, I mean, he always kind of, I wouldn't say, he always dressed nicely. I mean, he always presented himself nicely,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Neat, kind of neat.
Yeah, he did. You know, him and Uncle Jimmy wasn't much alike. Uncle Jimmy had a lot of fun about him. Papa had his dry fun, right, too. But Uncle Jimmy was all the time joking and all. They were a lot different, you know, from most brothers.
Which one was older?
Papa.
Papa was older.
Uncle Jimmy died first.
That's a good picture of Papa.
Yeah, it's
I like that.
good.
I'm telling you, there's three wild women.
Oh, baby. I wish they could see that. Mabel, I believe they'd get a laugh out of her. Sure.
That's
would Gladys.
That's who's that? Gladys, right?
Euna and Mabel.
And Mabel.
Oh, man.
And you can see Gladys has got her arm around you.
Yeah.
Got hanging over your shoulder
Yeah,
there.
that's right. Now that was, where was that made? Up here at my house? Or where? Oh, do you know?
I have no
I
idea.
don't know either. But
Y'all, all of you young there though, aren't you?
yeah,
Y'all must have got together a lot back then, huh?
yeah. Well, Gladys and Mabel too. I've got pictures, I think, of Mabel and Gladys when we lived up in the old house.
That's a good picture.
Yeah, it is. How we lived then.
Okay.
You
This
think
is
that must have been made at Papa's birthday, maybe one day.
could have been. And this is who?
Christine and Aunt Bear and Papa and Aunt Sedella. Christine's Aunt Sedella's oldest child.
Christine is.
The oldest girl. Let's see. I guess she's
Now
younger
Aunt
than
Sedella lived where?
She lived at different places. At that time, she must have lived around Bremen, or Villarica probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know for sure.
And she married a
Bilbo.
Bilbo.
Landra Bilbo. And Christine, I sent her and Harry MacDonald, that's who she married, on a Christmas card and wrote him a note this week. I hope I hear from them. I don't know. They live
Now the people that Bob and Ethel think so much of, the young couple that's got the chicken place, are they Bilbos?
Roseanne is
Yeah.
Inez's daughter.
Okay, and Inez is not on here, right?
No, Inez is younger than Christine. But Aunt Sedella depended on Inez more than she did Christine after Uncle Andrew died. And after Inez and her husband separated, Inez did a lot for Aunt Sedella.
Do you think Papa had a favorite sister?
Aunt Delrita did. Would be because she lived with them, you know, Pa's family. Grandpa died in Upchurch, so I imagine it would have been Aunt Delrita because of that. And they were closely, lived close together more than Aunt Sedella did to him, too. That made a difference.
Jonelle, she looks like she's what, 10, 11 years old maybe.
She does.
Taken somewhere, maybe her car or father's car rather. Can't tell what type of car that is.
No, and I wondered where they lived at that time.
She's getting cute already, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Cuter. Cuter.
They might have lived a table.
Could have been.
But they did.
That's taken the same day, though. You see that car in the
Yeah.
background? That's the
Yeah,
same
it is.
car.
Uh-huh.
It's Uncle Roy and Tommy and is that June or Carolyn?
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Looks like Carolyn. I think Carolyn and Tommy about the same age. Looks like Tommy might be a little bit older than Carolyn there, doesn't he?
Uh-huh. Yeah. That was taken the same day as that one, which I know was taken. And again, there's the car again, taken the same day, and
Ellen and Carolyn and Tommy.
Right. Remember that old place,
Yeah,
don't you?
Sure do.
Place that burned. When that burned? Do you remember when that burned? We were in Atlanta at the time. And we'd moved to
Yeah.
Atlanta 73 or 74, so it must have been about that time.
I don't remember what.
I think it must have been around 74, 75. That was a nice house, though, wasn't it? Do you like that house better than this house?
Retired in 72, and it must have been about 74 when that burned. Because he retired in 72.
The lightning hit it, didn't it? It's a nice house, though. I like that
old
house.
glider that's out there in the yard was on that porch.
Yeah, you can
And
still
they got
see
that
it.
off. And the chairs that went
Right
with it.
there. There's a chair or part of the glider right there.
Yeah. And the glider was sitting right here, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The chairs over
Yeah.
there.
You're right. Here's the glider right there.
Yeah, well, that's it out there in the yard.
Same one.
Same one. That thing has really been a good one. May looks young there, don't she? I mean,
Yeah, she does.
ain't Bailey.
Okay, now this is...
Ain't Bailey. And Grandmother Bowman. And ain't Susan May. Not Landra. No, that's Mama there. Mom wasn't married, was she?
No, apparently not.
That's Mama
Uncle
there.
Andrew looks, he looks very young there, doesn't he?
I bet that was right after Grandpa died, because I think Uncle Andrew was about 16 when he died.
He was, yeah, no. He looks about that age,
Yeah,
so.
that's Mama there. Well, it
Yeah, that
must-
sure is, isn't it?
It is. It is. Now, she looked more like Aunt Susan May there, didn't she?
Yeah.
Sure did. I first thought it was Aunt Susan May, but that's Aunt Susan May, and that's later.
Now, this is Aunt Susan May here, and this is your mom.
Yeah.
That's Aunt Dara.
Yeah, that must have been probably, that Grandpa Bowman died.
Do you know what he died of, or did
Had
heart attack?
Heart trouble. Heart failure. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of inherited, that is, through that background, Bowman background.
But they all look nicely dressed and everything,
Yeah,
don't
they
they?
do.
Your mother must have worn her hair like that a lot. You can't see, I wish you could see it in this photograph better. Maybe I can zoom in. I'd like to get a good picture of her close up. But these are some flowers she's got in her hair. Let's see if we can get that up real close up on them, because I think it'll be
I couldn't
kind of
tell if
important.
it's flowers or what.
Okay, now that's a little bit better, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Sure.
But can you see the flowers in her hair
Yeah,
there?
I sure can.
And you see the hair dropping out of her forehead
Yeah.
there, out of the, what would you call that, a bun or something?
I don't know whether they wore rats, what they call rats in the hair then or not.
But that, I think that's a good picture
It
of
is
her.
a good picture of it, sure is. Better picture than any of the rest we've got.
That's right.
So I imagine that was a short time before Papa married.
Well,
Now ain't Bailey, that doesn't look much like her. now,
no, it
does
doesn't, does it?
Looks like her eyes are brown now. She's barefooted.
Yeah.
I wonder who made that when Cousin John talked about it.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Well, I wish Grandma would have smiled in some of these, but she didn't. And look at her hat, looks,
Pull back and split in
Yeah.
the top, isn't it?
slick over her ears and kind of, she didn't have much either. Aunt Susan Mays is more, very much like Mama's too.
Yeah. A lot
It
like.
must have been just, they might have kind of teased it to get it to stand out that way. She had on black shoes and hose. And Grandma had on a black dress, looked like. I tell you, Uncle Andrew sure did pet Grandma when she got old, you know. And Aunt Mag would go up there and say, Aunt Mag was Noah's mother, and she'd go up there and say something to Grandma, and Uncle Andrew would just come in and tease them both, you know, and have something funny to say to them. And he never did, I never did hear him speak short to Grandma, but Aunt Rayla would.
That's a good picture.
Yeah, good.
Okay, now who we got?
That's a better picture right there, Miss Mama. And she's got flowers in the hair there.
Yeah.
But that's not made the same day, is it?
No, well,
Different dress.
no, right. And look at that. What is that? A brooch?
Yeah, a brooch avenue. I wonder if Grandma didn't make that dress. I bet you my Mama would.
But isn't she pretty there?
Yeah.
She's pretty there, ain't she?
But how much she did change after she married, didn't she? So quick, look like. I declare. It sure did.
What do you remember best about your mom? What? Anything in particular about your mom? Was she kind? Was she soft-spoken when she'd talk, or
Yeah.
high-pitched voice?
No, she was just good, just a good person. Seemed like just shared everybody's troubles, you know. She just took everybody's troubles to heart a lot. I remember that about her. She'd just be so hurt, like Mr. Burton's Maina's house that burned. That just really got next to Mom and Papa, both of them. They were so sympathetic with them losing the house, and everything in it burned just about. So she just had a lot of tender heart, and always did.
Well, that's an excellent picture.
Yeah, it really is. And the hair looked like she had a lot of hair.
We're about to run out of tape. Anything you want to say? Or?
Well, I just appreciate you going to all the trouble you do to get these pictures blown up and all that, to show them like this. I think it's something the family will enjoy for years to come. And I appreciate getting to be a part of it. I really do.
Well, we got you on tape, so you'll just keep on living.
Well,
You know, it'd been nice if we could have had Papa like this and your
Yeah.
mom like
yeah,
this.
sure would have. Well, I
Can
mean,
do
the improvement and progress that's been made in these last several years has been unbelievable, you know.
Well, I've enjoyed this trip. Sure have.
I really do appreciate you coming and us getting to go. It really has meant a lot to all of us.
Let's do it
And I
again
made a
sometime.
sacrifice, though, to do that, Jack, and I sure love you for it.
I love you
It's
too.
been a good day to get to see the different ones we've seen, and especially to see Flora. I was really glad to see her and meet her sister too, Flora Dunn. Used to be.
Well, I'm gonna try to run a copy of this and send it to some of the kids. You know, like Joe Nell.
Yeah.
They'll enjoy it.
I know they enjoyed as much as I have. Really appreciate it too, all you do. You don't know how much it means to us all now, and I know in later
Years to come it will.
Yeah, it'll be,
Well, we'll say bye-bye and we'll just close this thing on down for now.
well,
Bye-bye.
thanks again.